Alright guys, today we're here to do an exciting video. Today we are talking about a new dartboard that I received, and it is the GranBoard 3S, as you guys are seeing right above me. But this is not an ordinary dartboard, which is why I think this is, as you guys saw in the title, one of the coolest things that you can add into your man cave or game room or arcades. I had a dartboard before. It was fantastic. It was fun, and we had a blast with it. It wasn't in a great spot, so it wasn't used as much as I would like, but this one finally is in a designated spot. So I've been playing this almost every night for the last week and a half since I've gotten it. But this one has a lot of features that set it apart from just a regular dartboard like the one I had before. The one I had before was a great dartboard. It had a lot of games, but there's a lot of things that separate this one from the one I had before that we're going to talk about today. We got things like online play with other people from anywhere in the world. Over 40 or 50 people on at any given time. There's always people online to play all different game modes to play. There's party modes. We have tournament play. We have local games that you can play with up to 4 people here, and soon 8 players. There's a lot going on. The animation and the friend system and messaging people and seeing people on camera and having conversations with them and just playing with them. A lot of cool stuff to talk about in this video, something that I've never seen in dartboards before. Granted, to be fair, I am late on this video because this thing's actually been out for a while, but for some reason it skipped my radar and I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. Maybe in the dartboard community there was, but in the arcade community, which is the community I'm in, and man caves and stuff like that, I don't see this talked about that much. And I came across it, and this thing is, I have a lot to say about it, so let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here is my setup on the darts that we just introed there. And there's a lot to talk about with this dart thing that I got set up here. And we'll talk about all the different pieces and why I have things set up in a certain way. But let's start off with just the dartboard itself. Before we get into all the technology, how is the actual dartboard here and what does it do? So as you can see here, the dartboard does light up. The app is open on the right hand side, but there's nothing going on the dartboard right now. It's just flashing. It rotates colors, as you can see there, and it just kind of moves around over and over again until you actually start a game. This is kind of what it's doing while nothing is being played. So it keeps alternating colors around the whole thing. You could see the little LED. That's just letting you know that it is paired. If it wasn't, it would just be red. So it's paired because the app is open on the right-hand side. That's how you know. It is Bluetooth activated. That's how they connect with each other. On switches here on the bottom. And then this red button is used in various games sometimes to just go to the next screen. Like if you threw a dart and ended up, hitting your wall and not actually getting it on the board, obviously that still counts. So you can go ahead and hit next if you're playing an online game or something like that. There's the branding, of course. Like I said, it's called GranBoard. And you can see how all the individual numbers light up. Now, what's really cool about this lighting thing is not necessarily what it's doing right now, and you'll see some gameplay in a little bit, but it's actually what happens while you're actually playing. So right now, yeah, it's cool that it lights up and it's LED and all that, but this is really useful when you're actually playing games. Let's say, for example, you're either playing online on the app, or you're using the app to do local play with 4 of your friends or something like that are here at home. If you're doing that here at home, and let's say you're playing cricket and you need to hit, and you have the 5 numbers that you need to hit, and let's say that 3 of them have been knocked out, and now you only have 2 left that you can actually hit, it actually lights up those numbers when it's your turn because it knows whose turn it is, and it knows what numbers are actually needed, which is really cool. And we'll show that when we do a cricket round there later. But that's what's really cool about the LEDs, is that it can actually show what numbers are being hit. Another cool thing the LEDs do is when you're playing online. When you're playing online and someone else throws, it actually feels like you're playing with the person because those numbers actually light up, which is really cool. So for example, if it was their turn and this board would not be lit up at all, and then they throw a dart and they hit a 6, the 6 would flash. So you know that they hit the 6 on their side, even though the app would tell you that they obviously hit the 6 too. But it's cool that the light actually shines because it just makes you feel like you're playing a local game with someone, makes you feel like you're really there with them. So I thought those were really nice touches with the LED lights, not just looking like this, but extra functionality with the actual app. Now, looking at the top here, this is a camera, and the reason that there's a camera up there, of course, it's facing the dart. This is called the GranCam. This is not necessary. This is only if you want to. But basically, when you're playing online, a lot of people like to show a camera pointing at the dartboard so people can actually see the darts that they're throwing actually hit the dartboard. Some people don't do that. Some people have a phone app, because they do have an app on the phone that's just a camera app that you can kind of just use any phone or anything and just point it behind you. So it's pointing at the dartboard, so you can do that too, and that's free. But having a dedicated camera on there where it actually is cool, and it does have, of course, some extra functionality. So what this camera does that you can't get from the free camera app and stuff, even though you can put it at the dartboard, is it actually zooms in when certain things are about to happen. Let's say you're going for, you know, a certain double bull, or you're going for a T20, you know, stuff like that are happening out the game. It may actually zoom in on the actual app for everyone to see, whether you're playing online or not, and it will zoom into the 20 so everybody can see that you're concentrating on that area. So it has some zooming effects and stuff that work with this camera that are pretty cool, that make it stand out from the regular app. But either way would work if you want to, and this is just dedicated sitting up there. Here, of course, I just have a little dartboard sign going on over here, and then I have here where my darts are hanging here. As you can see here, I got these on Etsy. They just kind of go sticky on the wall. You could use screws that it comes with, but I just use stickies, and you can see you could just mount them right there if you want to. Now, of course, what we got to talk about next, and what this whole entire thing is about, is of course the iPad here. Now, the iPad that I'm using here is the iPad Air 2. The latest version it can go to on iOS is 15, and it won't be able to be upgraded to 16, but that's fine because this app works on a variety of versions. As long as it has Bluetooth. So yeah, usually any of the apps out there, or any of the older iPads or iPhones that you have, because you can use an iPhone or you can use an iPad on the wall, whatever you want to use. But I use an iPad already because I had this one. Excuse me. It's because I had this one, and also because I had the bracket already somewhere else in the house that wasn't being used, so I just moved it over here, so it kind of worked out great. So why is there an app for Dartboard? Well, the big thing that we're going to talk about first is local play, and what makes it cool. So for example, this is the app that currently exists. We're going to have to break this out in two parts. So I'm going to talk about the original app first, which is the app that's out right now that's not in beta. This is the one that everyone can download and everyone's usually using. But there's a beta app I'm going to show you towards the end of the video, just so you guys can see how things are going to progress in the future. But this is the current app, and this is how it currently is. So GranBoard, as you can see here, you're at the main menu, and you have all these options here. You have game select, online play data, my page, and arrange. And then you have QR camera, you can have your friend requests, your messages, your settings, a coin shop, and stuff like that, and your friends over here on the right, which is pretty cool. So let's start off with the local play. So you can just hit game select here, for example. You can see when you go into game select and it turns red, the board actually turns red too, so you can tell everything is synced. Now, here is where all the games are that you can select. So you can see you can do 301, 501, 701, 901, 1101, and 1501. So, and they do add, sometimes they add occasional games. It's been a while because they've been concentrating on the new beta app that I'm going to show you later, but they do sometimes add new games as well. So this is progressively always being worked on and adding new features. So we got that. Then of course we have cricket, and we have standard cricket, hidden cricket, cutthroat, and stuff like that. Then we have melody, where you can do a 3-leg, a 5-leg, or a 7-leg. Animal battle is pretty cool. Basically what animal battle is you basically get to battle one of these animals progressively and kind of play the CPU in a battle, which is pretty fun. And then you got practice, and practice has all of these different games that some of you guys are probably used to, like Count Up and Half It and Delta Shoot and Shoot Force and all that stuff. Pirates, Target Choice, Target Hat, stuff like that. And then the last one here, which I really like that they add, and I love party games like this when friends are over, is Party. Beyond Top, Hide and Seek, Treasure, Tic-Tac-Toe, Toon Line, and stuff like that. Interesting ways of playing different games while using a dartboard. This is really fun. And the coin ones, there are 3 games that are currently, you have to pay with basically DLC in the app, so they're not included for free. You can see the little coins there, but everything else here is included besides the ones that have coins on them, as you can see there. But mostly everything is included, especially all the standard stuff, as you can see. So let's say, for example, I were to select 301, and I hit player select. You can see you have the audio that's going on there, so it has a little bit of an effect. You can see the interface here. You can add yourself. I have my profile there. And then you can either register a guest, and that's really cool because if someone comes over and they're always coming over to your house, you can register them a profile, so it will keep track of all their stats and everything, that they do. But for right now, we'll just do a guest. You can see you can do up to 4 players on here. You can turn on doubles, so you can do 2v2, handicap mode. You could do options. There's a lot of different options here. Separate bowl, master in, double in, all that kind of stuff is all here for you to mess around with. And let's say we hit game start. So there's the interface of the actual game that you're playing 301, and you can see right now it is my turn. So let's say, for example, I'm not obviously going to throw a dart, but let's say, for example, I were to hit the 15. You can see I hit the 15 there, and you can see how that looks like there. You see the round, you see everything you got. You see 286, all that kind of stuff. And then let's say I hit a 7. And let's say I hit a 20. You can see that there. And now, of course, you threw your 3 darts. You can see the results right there. So then it would be the next person's turn. You come up and you hit change. And then it tells you to remove your darts. It lights up green to refresh. And then it says guess one. Of course, like I said, it says guess one because the player profile isn't registered. But you could register friends that come over and they would have their name show up, just like my name shows up there, and track all their stats and stuff. So what I really like about this is, like I said, the interface here. You can see exactly what the score is. You can see all the rounds. You can see the results for every single thing. You can see the person's average right there every time that for every game that they've played. All that kind of stuff, which is really, really cool when you have friends over. I love the interface on here, and I love how it interacts with the board and lights up different sections and stuff. And speaking of lighting up different sections, you can go over here and go back to the title screen. Let me just show you what I was talking about before. So if I go back to game select and I hit cricket, and we all know what cricket is like. You only have certain numbers that you're actually hitting. So let's say I do the same thing. Let's say I do 2 players on here. Now, in cricket, you can only hit these numbers here, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and bowl, as you're seeing here. And if we step back, you can see on the board, it lights up those numbers. So you're not wasting your time hitting other numbers, which is really cool. So the 16, the 19, the 17, the 15, the 18, and the 20. And as they keep getting X'd out, when that number's gone, that light disappears. So it just adds some really cool factors into dartboards that aren't always done, that interact with the actual app, which makes this one stand out that I really, really like. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. I really do like the party games as well. I'll leave those for you to explore, but there are some party games here that are pretty cool that you can play with your friends. Hide and seek is fun. The tic-tac-toe version I've played in the beta app is really fun as well. You're playing tic-tac-toe and trying to hit certain numbers that show up, and if you hit that number on the board, then you get an X or a 0, and you're trying to get tic-tac-toe. Really, really fun. Animal Battle, like I said, is fun, all that kind of stuff. So you have a lot to explore in single player just with that. Now, to go even further, there's also a My Page. So My Page here is your actual profile page, which is really cool. So you can see here on someone's profile page, you can see how many friends they have. You can select your little thing. You can select your custom logo. It tells you your average and what your ranking is. So I'm a CC. That's the lowest ranking you could get. You can see my average in 01 games is 49.75 points per round, and you can see my cricket is 1.5 average. I haven't played count up yet, so you see that there. And you can even link your social media there at the bottom. I wish they would let you link YouTube, but you can see Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are there, and you can edit your profile and all that kind of stuff. You can even see your friends, and as you can see here, you can player search if you want to, which is really cool. So you can come in here and search for someone if you know someone's name, add them to your friends list, all that kind of stuff, which is really, really cool for a dartboard. Like I said, I've never had anything like this, and this is just really, really fun. Really takes darts to the next level. Then if you go to player data, this is where all your stats are. So this just goes crazy and tells you all the different stats of everything of every time you played on here. Your average on here for cricket and 01 game, as you're seeing here, my overall average. You can click on stats here. If you click on the awards, you can see this week how many times you hit certain things, like how many times I hit the S bowl, the D bowl, the Lotron. You can do it for this week or this month overall, just today, all that kind of stuff. You can see your score on all the different games that you actually play there. You can see your analysis on how often in the last 30 games and in the last 5 games you hit bowl and all that stuff. Really, really cool stuff to see all of your stats on here. And then you can see your global ranking and your domestic ranking, and even versus your friends as well. So if I were to hit this and do domestic and I do 01, you can see my overall ranking with everyone else in the world, which is really, really cool. Nowhere near, you can see the top player averages 150. That's insane. But you can look at your overall ranking, 3,459. So I'm nowhere near close to being anywhere near on the top of the leaderboards, but Yeah, really, really cool to have all of these stats on the actual board. You can message people on here. Like I said, if you have friends, you can receive messages back and forth and it will alert you. A whole integrated online system. So, speaking of online, that's what sets this game apart. So if I were to come in here and I would select game select, or sorry, online play, you can come in here and actually, you can see the little animations that show up, online battle. You can obviously skip it if you want to, just by doing that. And then it puts you into the open lobby. So you can do an open lobby or a group lobby. I'm just going to do an open lobby just to show you. You can see the GranCam woke up. So basically that's the camera there that has now woken up because it knows it now needs to be used because it's for online play. And then you can come over here and you can see all the people that are online. So you can see there's people from the United States, from all over, from Brazil, everywhere. And you can see that there's a lot of people online right now. There's always people online playing this, so you're not going to have any struggle to find people. Look at this, 3 pages in, 4 pages in, all these people to challenge. And you can see all their stats too before you click on them. So you can see what ranking they are, C, B, C, C, all that kind of stuff. You can see their stuff. And you can also click on them and you can select what game you want to actually challenge them in, O1, Cricket, and Melody. Those are the ones available online. And you can change your preferences if you want people to challenge you in game, Cricket, Melody, or practice and stuff. So you can kind of select that in your preferences so people only challenge you for that. You can see your stuff over there. You can always see your ranking up here when you click on that and your connection status and all that. You can go to settings. You could do doubles down here. Here I am right here. So it does use your front-facing camera. So speaking of the front-facing camera, so it's going to use your iPad or your phone, whatever you're using. You're going to have something pointed at you so to prevent cheating, of course. So you can talk to people with a microphone and stuff if you want, if you're playing with friends or randoms or whatever. And you can kind of do that, but you can see that it's always, the camera's obviously pointing at me, so it sees me throwing the darts so everybody know how far away I am from the actual dartboard and stuff, because you want that to obviously be on, and everyone always has their camera on. You have to prevent cheating and stuff. And then here is the camera. Oh, this moved a little bit. Let's just move this back. But here is the GranCam here, so you can see it's pointed right to the dart, so when I throw a dart, someone else can see that in the actual online, which is really, really cool. So that is the overview of an app. I really love the app. I love the integration. I didn't even know, I know this has been out for a while, but for some reason it missed my radar that I had a dartboard before, but I didn't realize that you can get a dartboard that actually now has online play. And what's really cool about this is they're always improving it and always doing something new, always adding new games, or always improving the app in some certain way. And this has been out for a couple of years, at least a couple of years now. And they're always adding new stuff and always adding improvements. So really, really solid stuff. The fact that I can now play darts against anybody online, see them on camera because you could obviously see each other, wave at them, say hello, talk to them via the mic, get stats, and have anybody to play darts with at any time is awesome in itself. So what I do want to show you real quick though is the actual beta app that is coming soon, just so you can get an idea of where this is going if you decide to get this dartboard for yourself. So I have the beta installed, and you can freely install this beta app if you get this board, which is what I did. You don't need any sort of special permissions or anything. You just need to accept it in their Facebook group, and then you're basically part of the beta. So this is what the new app is actually looking like. So the app that we had before is what's currently available. This is the beta app on what they plan on replacing that app with eventually when all the features are integrated, because there's still some stuff missing on here. Again, it's a work in progress, and they're always adding features to it. And this is where their concentration has been for the last several months, of course. So you can see here as a nice little white interface, you can see there are some new things that are really, really cool. So if you click on local play, you'll notice immediately the games that you're used to seeing are here. So this is the new menu system. So you can see versus. You can see now you can do up to 13 legs. So there is some additional stuff there. You can see all of the practice modes that we talked about before, and all of the party modes. Of course, they're all unlocked, and you don't have to pay for them right now because the app is in beta. That's how I tried my tic-tac-toe and other games. AI against the animals is not available yet in the beta, but it will be coming. That's why that's there. But what's really cool, oops, I exited by accident, is if you click on 301, you can now have 8 players play, which is fantastic. So 8 players can locally play now when you're playing against someone else, which is fantastic news. So you can see how I can add a bunch of people here and add up to 8 players if I want to. So this is going to be fantastic when you have more than 4 people over at home. And you can even do 2v2, 3v3 and separate them into teams, or 4v4. So a lot of good options on here if you want to do it. And the exact same thing will happen. You'll be able to create profiles for people, and they'll keep track of all their stats if you want to just not be known as guest. You can kind of do it from here. Hit guest, scan the QR code, and then you'll be able to kind of do that right there and add them into the game, and they can create their own profile, which is awesome. And if we just start the game here just to show you guys what the interface looks like on the new version, what I really like is you can see the new interface looks nice and clean, just like before. I like the little flash of like that, where it's just throw darts, Carlos. I think it stands out more than the other one when you know it's whose turn it is, which I really like. And it shouts out the names, as you can see here. And you can see all of that organized on the bottom. So I do like the way that this looks. But more importantly, as you guys are noticing on my iPad too, it actually takes up the full screen. The original app does not. It usually cuts off like right here, like you guys saw. This new app takes up the full screen, which is of course much better, and I'm really, really happy to see. Another thing you're going to notice here is, of course, my page is all your stats and stuff, just like the other app. But another cool new feature coming is tournament mode. So you can actually have tournaments at home, have like a bracket style where people are playing against each other, and it keeps track of the tournament schedule and all that kind of stuff, and have tournaments online or offline with your friends. So that's really cool. Of course, it does have online play, and it supports all the other stuff we talked about. You can see here. There are some people in the beta app, but not always available to play. Like right now, all these people are online, but they're not highlighted. If they were lit up, that means that you can actually play them. These guys must be all in an online game. So there are people playing in the beta, but obviously the other one is a lot more filled because that's the one that everyone's currently using. But I'm really, really excited to see when this actually comes out, because I do like this app better, especially since it takes up the full screen when I'm playing games. And I just love all the animations and stuff that go on, and that's kind of what sets it apart, in my opinion, from other apps. Like when I come onto here and I hit game select, for example, party ones, for example, they all have like unique things. The practice ones, like look at this Pirates one, for example. That one, unfortunately, you have to pay for, but you can see all of the pictures here on how they actually look, so you can see all the animations. So you get like a cool graphic design on all these different games and stuff like that I really like. You can see how this looks. So it all has unique games to play and unique like animations and unique stuff that are going on to really add to the fun factor of playing darts with the screen on the side. So let's go ahead and jump into a quick online game so you guys can kind of see how an online game works. So I'm going to go ahead and hit online play on here. I'm going to go ahead and grab my 3 darts. I'm going to set you guys up behind me. Hopefully give you guys an idea of how this works. I'm not going to have the camera pointed at me. I want you guys to see the darts being thrown and all that stuff. Let me just go ahead and, for the time being, turn off the microphone online when I'm playing with someone else, just because they don't need to hear me talking the whole entire time. So you can go ahead and turn your mic off if you want, which I'm going to do just for this game. And then I'm going to hit open lobby. And then you can see, let's go ahead and select, let's see, I'm going to select this person that's a CC just like me, hit one game. You see their profile page comes up and all that stuff and who they're playing with. Some people like to play with 2 players at the same time. You can select the randomness, who goes first. That's all fine. I'm going to leave that in, 301. Your board will light up when they've actually accepted, so let's see if they actually accept. If they don't, then the board just stays red and doesn't go anywhere, and then that loading is going to time out. Looks like it's going to time out. So we'll just have to wait for a person to actually hit select. You can see it popped up saying the player is offline. So let's just try that again. And you can see here somebody has accepted our match. You see a nice little versus screen. And you can see on the versus screen both our video feeds are now up, so we can both see each other. You can see me waving there in the camera. And you can see it is my turn first. You can see I have a 301 on the board. You can see the score on the bottom. I'm in red, going for 301. I'm going to throw here. That's not good. That's a 111. That's not that great either. And a 19. And then you just walk up to the board. You can hit play or change. So then the next person goes, and while he's going, now it says his name. You can see his video feed is now taking a majority of the background. And you can see when he throws, you can see him on the camera there, he's throwing. The 18 just lit up on the board, which is really cool, which is what I was talking about before. 17 just hit, so you can kind of feel like he's actually playing with you, which is really cool. Tells you to remove the darts, it flashes, it goes to round 2, and now it's telling me to go. So now it's my turn. So you can see in my video feed, I have my feed, and I have the GranCam on the top left corner. If the dart falls off like I just did, which is terrible, it still counts. Ooh, close to a bullseye there. And a 1, not great. We're not doing great at all. 245. Player change. So yeah, when he goes, obviously, since he doesn't have a secondary camera, you can see his screen's a little different, so it shows all the rounds and everything, and just his camera feeds a giant portion of the screen. He just got a bull shot right there. I don't know how well we're going to do in this match, but at least you guys will get to see how this actually works and the features and stuff, and how well this is working online. I mean, there's no lag in this at all, as you guys are looking at here. There's my S-bolt. Needed that. Needed that. Good round for me with an 18 and 19. That was great. Got a 20. And what's nice about the lights lighting up, damn, he got another bull. What's nice about the lights lighting up too is that, like, you can see on the app what he actually hit in that top right corner, what he hit, but it's also just nice looking at the board and just seeing what he hits just by looking at that, which is pretty cool. Something I did probably forget to mention in the overview, obviously it's probably in the title, this is soft tip, so it's not metal tips or anything, it is soft tip, but as you can tell, it works extremely well. I need to do some catch up here is what I need to do. Damn, that one popped right out on me. Definitely not a good round. I need to get me another bull here. And he just got another bull. Looks like I'm in trouble here. And he just won just like that. Just like that, he took that home. Really fun. And then you can see the flashing lights when someone wins. You can see the finish. We have a little victory screen here. You can kind of give each other a thumbs up. Good game. You can do a great fun there at the end. Thank you kind of thing. So you guys can talk. You can friend request right there or rematch if you want to right from there. And of course, I'm just going to exit and go back into the open lobby. So that is a experience on what you guys can expect out of the board here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that online play, even though I did lose, but I gave you guys some good information on how it actually works. So let's go to the table and give you my final thoughts. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video on everything on this GranBoard 3S, as you guys saw. Hopefully I gave you a good overview of what the online play is like and stuff like that, and the friend system and everything you could do in this app, and even the new beta app that I showed you guys that's going to be coming soon to add even more features to what was currently there, like 8-player local play, which is going to be great, tournaments online and offline, you know, a lot of cool stuff that is coming down the pipeline for this app, making it even better than what it was. So my overall impressions, as you guys probably kind of gathered in the overview, is this thing is awesome. It's the best dartboard I've definitely ever used, and it's definitely the most fun dartboard, and obviously a really smart dartboard, and it's just a heck of a lot of fun. The only thing that obviously you would need to know before going in is, obviously when you get the dartboard like this, you're going to have to have, I mean, you don't need to get a dedicated iPad like I have here. That's just something I wanted to do because it makes more sense if you're going to invest in a board like this to have something dedicated towards it if you can. But you don't have to. Obviously, you can grab a phone, kind of mount it on something like a little tripod or on your table or something, and kind of face it towards you or put it behind you, which is what a lot of people do. So when people have the iPhone app pointed at them from behind their head, which is what you guys saw in the guy doing when I was playing against him, you could see behind his head, and you can see the dartboard as well while you're throwing. But obviously, I went all in on the setup with the iPad dedicated towards it, because then people can come up to it and just select games and stuff like that when people are over, and then they don't have to be like, hey Carlos, where's your phone? I want to play darts, and it's not there. So a dedicated spot makes more sense if you're going to have this for a lot of people coming over. But if you're just going to play by yourself, just know you don't need this crazy thing. You could just use your phone, download the app, and kind of work your way that way. Use the camera on your phone and be kind of ready to go. But as far as the experience, you guys saw that online play, and that's most of my games. No matter what people I play against, no matter what part of the world they're in, most of the time the online play has been really, really good with no lag at all, as you guys can see. And the beta app is making that experience even better, as they're saying, when it comes to making it a faster experience and better matchmaking and stuff. But I've had hardly any issues even with their current app. Only a couple of times that I have lag, and that could have obviously been for people's internet connection. But overall, the match that you guys saw is exactly how it plays most of the time, which is brilliant. It's like someone's sitting right here at your house. What I like about this app also is, of course, all the animations and the different effects. So when you're playing the party games that I saw, like Tetris, it has the cool Tetris board on here, and all the different practice games that you can play, like the pirate one and the target toss. It adds like the animations of being on a pirate ship, and just make the game feel more fun on why you would want to dedicate an iPad app with a big screen, because you get to see all those animations and all those game modes and everything play out right on the screen, which I think sets us apart from just having a dartboard just throwing darts at it, which I think people will have fun with while they're playing darts, to have the screen right here while they're playing, kind of watching the animations and the graphics kind of play fold. So really, really happy with this thing, and I definitely think it's worth it. I definitely urge you guys to check this out if you guys are interested in a dartboard. Definitely something you guys should add into your man caves or arcades. Hopefully that's everything that needs to be covered with this. I don't actually think I mentioned it throughout the whole video, but this does cost $300 for this model, which is kind of in line with the higher end dartboards, but I definitely think it's well worth it for all the features you're getting and all the new features that are going to be coming, because they're still updating this constantly, which is really, really important. And the community on here, this is the biggest dart community you're going to find. You're not going to find another smart dartboard that has more people online than this one. You guys saw the pages that I scrolled through, and there was more. There's always people online to play no matter what time of the day. So if you're looking for people to play online, this is definitely the dartboard to get. So that's it, guys. If you guys have any questions about what you guys saw in today's video, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.